No. Are we looking at ours as cat now?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear a damn thing you said.
All right.
And because I was a gazillionaire and I like building so much, I cut that price for free.
The species is dying. The birth rate is plummeting. Women are chopped. But yeah, you know what? Get a fucking cat.
I know even more about grass.
Welcome to Touch Grass with Theo Snodgrass. I am your host, Theo Snodgrass, comedian and podcaster out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Wherever you may be, thank you for making me a part of your day. With me today is the panel. Say hi, panel.
Hi, panel.
Hi, panel.
Oh, man. Well, guys, you know, here in the Touch Grass version, I have a reputation on this show for this being a show that blames women for everything and says that women are bad. I do have a reputation for that. I think it's grossly unfair, totally unearned. I think I'm the most feminist of all of us. I think everybody agrees with that.
Was that before or after this week?
You know what, Strider? I was going to say it's been kind of a slow news week. Not really much to talk about in the world of women doing things. And yet here we are. I'm hiding the ball, of course. That is not, it's not at all true. This has been, this has been a tough week. What's crazy about that is I just did a stream about this like 2 days ago. And there's already been so much other stuff that's happened that we have enough to go do a whole nother stream. What are we talking about, folks? We are talking, of course, about the reaction to the Lindsay Clancy trial. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you have thoughts about that, please, please, please post them in the chat. I would love to hear what the conspiracy theories are. Again, this is not really a show about the case. We're talking about the reaction today. So let's talk to the panel and let's hear where everybody's coming from, because everyone is here for a specific reason. Starting with you, Iron. How are you today, and where does your wife stand on the Lindsay Clancy trial?
I'm doing pretty good. My wife stands on burn her alive now. There shouldn't have been a trial. Bring back Lynch.
Okay,
we've been talking about a lot about some of the current problems in this country, and then watching movies or shows based in the 1800s, and you're like, wow, they had it right. Oh, you're a horse thief, get a rope. Oh, you killed your family, get a rope. Get a rope should be the next campaign slogan.
Yeah.
Get a fucking rope.
Right. Okay. So your wife is in the straight to the wood chipper faction.
Yes.
Totally get that. Yeah.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. None of it.
Yeah, I understand.
This should be a speedy trial with quick and decisive results.
Oh, and that's quite popular. That view is popular, certainly online. It's a popular view from what I've seen. But there is, and by the way, the straight to the wood chipper faction is also led by women. So before I say everything I'm about to say for the next 2 hours, let me start there. Also, women are the most. They're kind of on both sides of this. The loudest voices are women, which I think is interesting and kind of understandable too. Because it does feel like the girls are split on this. I think, a little bit.
This goes kind of hand in hand with the pro-life versus I guess, what do you call them? Anti-life debate.
Anti-natalist, I guess.
You see a lot of that discourse. Yeah, there are some a lot of outspoken men on that issue on the pro-life side, but a lot of them are women too. But then of course the voices that are the loudest promoting anytime's fine, any reason's fine, up until birth doesn't matter. That's all women.
Well, isn't there a whole state? Isn't there a whole state that signed that into law? So
I think
this
the next
week
Civil War might be all women, and we just kind of sit back and see which side gets the other side emotionally damaged enough to do the job for them.
What side will not talk to each other for the longest time? Yeah,
right. Well. Get the other side to quit eating.
No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first.
Oh man. Anyway,
espionage is going to be so easy. All we have to do is say, "Did you see what she said about you?" I'm just saying.
Oh
That's
my
all you gotta
goodness.
do.
Maybe that's the whole where Ozempic's coming from. They're just weeding out the crazy bitches. They're just waiting them out.
There are so many fronts in which a women's civil war could be waged, where there's so much subterfuge can slip in and out, and it's just like these are unforced errors. Women, if you were just circle the wagons every once in a while and actually come to a consensus on something, but you're not built for that. So whatever.
Speaking of,
friend of the channel, Scream Queen Selena is here to report in and say that she, again, that's the thing. We have to be clear as much as this does seem to be a week full of unforced errors on behalf of women on the internet, a lot of otherwise intelligent women like Lila Rose coming out and saying, postpartum depression is real. I feel for
she's a bad take factory all over the place. Well, like she said, men don't need sex, and then lusting after a priest,
and which is crazy. Okay, because the reason I bring that up specifically, Lila Rose is a pro-life activist.
Yes.
Yep.
Not without reason.
So that's what's so weird about this. Obviously, Candace Owens is another bad take factory, but she said she's quoted as saying Lindsay Clancy is obviously innocent. And I think what she means is obviously not guilty by reason of insanity. But innocent and not guilty by reason of insanity are not exactly the same thing. I don't know if it's completely fair to say that her actions are excusable, but there is kind of an impulse to say that the reasonable take is that the lady should be let off the hook. That's the nuanced, I see both sides and I'm kind of above it all take is. And I think I'm starting to think that's just the midwit take. I think that's the stupid middle of the bell curve IQ take where you're like, you want to seem like you're above it all, but you're actually clinging to this cultural idea of like not holding people to real standards.
Right.
And I don't know. And so let's finish introducing the panel before we jump too far into this. Cause I want to, Roguish Nerd is also here. Now listen, Roguish Nerd, I brought you on for a reason. Good buddy of mine, friend of the channel, Roguish Nerd. You know him from the chat. You know him from the other times he's been on this show. You are reporting to us from the front lines. You know someone personally who is deeply invested in this case. So we want to hear from you. This is catching, because this is like, I think a lot of us fellas have noticed like otherwise ordinary women in our lives getting super absorbed in this case and having some takes that are a little surprising.
Yeah. So yeah, earlier in the week, my wife and I haven't been following this at all up until like a day or two ago. You start seeing some of the bigger channels like say Sargon of Akkad pop up and kind of give his take. But earlier in the week, my wife she was like, "Oh, that son of a bitch, Clancy, he killed his kids." I'm like, "What are you even talking about?" So as I'm hearing some of these other takes come out, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm getting caught up, and I'm like, you know what? I think you might be a little nuts.
Respectfully. And we mean that respectfully.
Yes.
We mean that respectfully, obviously. Yeah. Obviously, we're not trying to. This just seems like, I don't know. And I think this is coming. I think this is TikTok that's doing this, right? I've seen a few different videos. So, it seems like from what I've seen, they are, first of all, I think this is flooding women's For You pages right now on TikTok. I think it's being pushed to women specifically. And I think a lot of women are latching onto it. And it's probably like every third or fourth video is somebody doing like a really in-depth breakdown. By the way, Strider, I do want to introduce you. And then I want to get into some of the videos that I saw because they've been really fun. And I think we're going to have a fun time. If you want to know what is turning women's brains into mush right now on TikTok. Yeah. We're going to dive into some of that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited. Strider, you are also here. You are so what have you seen? What is going on in your world? Is this affecting anyone close to you that you know of?
Thank God, no, but I don't know a whole lot of women. so I'm not around them enough to. Well, I'm not like around them enough.
That's why you're
to-
always so happy.
Yeah, that's true. Notice how fulfilled my life is. Notice how much awesome stuff I have in my background. There's a reason for that.
Look how big his TV is. Look at that.
You know what? Today, just this year, I started as if I couldn't get any more single and undateable. I built my second Gundam model. I've never seen a Gundam show. I'm actually making my way through it. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. It's not my first Bandai model. I had it. The first time I got into it was building an ATSD, and that was detailed and a lot of fun and good way to kill like 3 hours. I had a blast. But there's not a whole there. Thank God there aren't a whole lot of women around me that are really either they don't know about it or they are just not. They're not talking about it very much. I'm not hearing about it at work yet. So, however, I do know there are probably some people at work who'd be like, well, I don't know, that guy's looking pretty sus just based on vibes alone. But I do, it is, as a single man, it is so fun being online and having a demonstration of how it's so fun being online and filing these things away in my brain as litmus tests for later. Because first it was the bear. Would you rather be would you rather be trapped, lost in the woods with a man or a bear? I remember that. And then like any given feminist talking point for the past few months, it is so fun to watch this and to store it for later as a litmus test for anybody that I might want to date later on. So what'd you think about that Lindsay Clancy thing? And if the answer is anything but burn her alive and in front of her family and watch them and maybe throw them on the fire too. I don't know. If it's anything other, if it's anything other than get a rope, then there will not be a second date. There will not be a third date. There will not be a continual date.
But
now
okay. What is happening though? What is happening? That's what I'm concerned about.
And here's the theory that I have, and maybe this is just starting off with the thesis statement. I'm pretty sure it's a combination of common female psychosis, because how many times, because how many like mass psychoses have there been associated with females across history? Too goddamn many, apparently, when you look at it. And a lot of them, because women are very much consensus based. So if they see someone getting attention, there's a mass suicide epidemic, I think in like Brussels or somewhere back in like the 1800s, and they see people getting attention for the terrible things they do, and because they are very much consensus based, they want to follow the consensus. And if the consensus flies in the face of evidence, they will follow the consensus. They will not follow the evidence. But also, I think it's just a disconnect in women's brains too, because as I said before the stream, Netflix documentaries have poisoned people's minds in such a way that has just made this ridiculous.
No, they think everything's a whodunit. They think everything's a whodunit, and
they think that because
every criminal case, there's not a mystery, right? Almost every criminal case, they 100% know what happened. It's just a question of demonstrating it.
Well, like for this, we know she did it. The defense, Lindsay Clancy had said it. The defense said it. Everyone has said it. We know she did it. She has admitted it in a court of law, and they have proven that to be the case. What is up for grabs now is whether or not postpartum depression plays into this, whether or not she can be like kind of maybe skate by in a lesser sentence or something like that. Her mindset is what's on trial here. But a lot of women, because they have been following all these true crime documentaries, hours and hours and hours and hours worth of it, they suddenly think they're fucking pro because they've been watching, because they have no background in criminal investigation. They have no idea how any of this works. And frankly, even if they did, it doesn't matter, because they will still side with the consensus. You cannot escape female nature.
Just so the Touchgrass audience is following along at home, Hercule Poirot is a detective from Agatha Christie novels. And
it's hilarious because... What's funny, we bring that up because Agatha Christie is the most like best-selling author of all time. Well, what was she known for? Endless mysteries. But they were well written, but she herself never carried them out. She herself was never crazy enough to go out and kill somebody and blame someone else for it.
Well, also,
but she created all these amazing mysteries.
It's pretend. It's made up. It's like, that's not what real crimes are like. Real crimes are like, okay, here's a real crime. 5 guys get into a car and go shoot another guy because he owes them money for drugs. They all brought their cell phones with them to the scene of the crime and then posted about it on Instagram later. That's probably 90% of homicides in this country are either that or man discovered wife was cheating and shot her. Was there when the police arrived. There were pictures of it everywhere. That's 90% of crimes. The fact patterns are very straightforward. It's a hardly ever some CSI bullshit where an intelligent perpetrator orchestrated an elaborate cover-up of a murder. That hardly ever happens. That's why when it does happen, people make documentaries about it. Is because it's exceptionally rare. That is the fact that so many people are invested in some version of events where Lindsay Clancy is not responsible. And I want to steelman that a little bit, by the way. Before we get too much into this, I want to pull up. So one of the things that was brought to my attention after researching this in the streets was apparently Lindsay Clancy has text messages and journal entries that were very sympathetic. So I had Grok help me out with some summaries on that. Apparently on sleep training her infant, this is one. Hearing him cry for an hour plus without intervening just about killed me, she wrote. Told her husband, Patrick, I want to die while it was happening, and afterward became obsessed with his sleep and nap schedule. She blamed herself for starting early when he was overtired, horrible insomnia, anxiety, which is causing depression, loss of appetite related symptoms. So basically freaking out about the kid won't sleep, I guess. I don't know. I'm told this is the most sympathetic part. Hold on. Give me some time. Well, you know what? Okay. Have you ever wanted a kid to fall asleep so bad? Have you ever wanted a kid to fall asleep so bad that you killed it? Because I'm completely overwhelmed.
Finishing college, so can't say as I have.
Okay, hold on. I'm completely overwhelmed trying to take care of the 3 kids. I feel like I'm drowning every day. And the entry added, it's like I'm so desperate to get a mental break from taking care of everyone, but my mind is trying to make something physically wrong with me. Her mind never shuts off and is constantly thinking of the next thing someone needs. So that apparently a lot of women related to that.
Don't fucking care. I don't care.
They are the empathetic, emotionally intelligent gender after all, guys. Remember.
Oh, right.
Don't fucking care. Don't kill your kids.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's what grandparents are for and in-laws. Like,
and then what's crazy?
This is what's crazy. This is what's crazy.
Yeah.
And Rogister, you bring up a great point. That's what in-laws and family is for. This woman had everything. She had her in-laws there. She had a support system. She had so many doctor visits. She had psychiatrists. She had a cocktail of medications. She had all the help she could possibly want. She had a nanny for 3 children, and she didn't work. So she had all the support she could possibly fucking gotten, and she didn't. And she killed her kids anyway. Don't tell me that she didn't get support.
Husband, he switched to work from home just to support.
Oh my God!
Give her the emotional support she needed.
Guys, man, Theo, I gotta say,
the system failed her, guys. The system failed her.
I keep coming up with the same question. Like, what else could have been done to help her?
Nothing.
Like, obviously, I think he was providing the insurance. She wasn't working. She's going to psychiatrists and psychologists and getting literally top of the world care, even if it is expensive and maybe you're going into debt for it, but you're getting care, you're getting assistance, you have family around you. What the fuck else do you want?
Okay, explicit pleas for help and self-diagnosis of distress. I don't know what's wrong with me, she says. I want help. I want to be well. She described crazy brain fog, living moment to moment, waiting for the next nap time. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to laugh. Terror that Callan would get overtired because she felt she couldn't help him and questioning whether symptoms were medication withdrawal or a new baseline. So seems like she's still upset about the nap schedule thing. Disconnection and guilt, feeling completely disconnected with my baby, going through the motions every day. references to disconnections from myself, time, and reality on her marriage. I feel horribly guilty about my marriage. I want to connect with Pat again. Patrick Clancy. This is the alleged the one TikTok
Evil
thinks
husband.
killed
The
everybody.
evil husband.
The one she wants to connect with. She also expressed shame, sadness, and guilt about stopping breastfeeding and worries about money spending while not earning. Coping attempts. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of positive affirmations. Let's see. Oh, phone notes. Healthiest, happiest mom. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, she was just like, so women heard this basically that she was feeling bad about, like, you know, having babies and whatnot, and they felt like that was like, oh, that literally me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like,
you know,
having kids isn't exactly a walk in the park, but she's not out there drowning for help. Like,
well, this is the thing. Like, so when women post videos, and we showed some of them on the show, we may get to that later. Women post videos where they're like holding their children and they're like, same Lindsay. Imagine if I was out with my girlfriend and I was like, same OJ. You know what I mean? Or like, or like if men did the same thing with like Chris Benoit was another one that people were bringing up.
Or Wade Wilson, yeah,
that would be crazy.
We have that Matt Walsh brought this up. We have that recent one where I don't know if he killed his wife as well, but definitely his children. He was having a true diagnosed schizophrenic episode and thought that God was telling him to do this. In the interrogation videos, he's having conversations with people that aren't there. I mean, I usually don't get sold on the insanity thing. He was clearly going through an episode. Do I give him a pass? Fuck no. But nobody did. That's the point. He didn't even go to the judge didn't order him into a lifelong, institution. He got put to regular prison. Here's your meds. You're sane now. Off to prison.
Well, let's also, there's the same case. There's a girl, in fact, this week who got sentenced pled guilty because she killed her. She has some kind of teenager, and had to kill her newborn, stuffed it in a sack in the back of a closet and got rid of it later. Like, I don't see a whole lot of women coming out saying same, whatever your name is.
Well, not as many, but they're there. No, they are there.
Really?
And this is what their argument is. Well, if she had access to healthcare, and we all know what women mean when they say healthcare, right? Yeah. If she had access to that healthcare, she would have done what she needed to do before it ever got to that point. So this is where my thing is. There's a very big anti-child, anti-baby message being pushed on women right now. Be resentful of children. Don't want children. Hate children. If you need to kill them, maybe we'll have a parade for you later.
Well, Matt Walsh said something very similar to that, and a lot of women did not like it, but I completely agree with them on this. It's like women have been raised from birth to be as selfish as humanly possible. And society tells them to be selfish. Society tells them that whatever they feel, whatever they want, that's what matters most. You can have it all. When you don't have it all, it's because the patriarchy is that there's all sorts of bullshit that is like as pounding on women like crazy. No pun intended. But like women, they don't want to let go of their own selfishness. And being a parent, you can't. There is no self with you. Your kids are your identity from that point on. You have to put all that aside.
Now,
a lot of women can't do that.
Iron, something piggybacking off of what you said. Okay, so Stefan Molyneux tweeted this. This is a little spicy for this show, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Be careful. Part of the reason Lindsay Clancy story is being pushed is to make white men frightened of having children with white women. So that kind of ties into that thing you were just saying, where part of this, I think, is not only to discourage. I think it's really clear that a lot of women are very against having children at this point. Like they have been sold an idea that it's very burdensome. And this is something, and also I think it's supposed to make men kind of be like, well, shit, I don't want to have a child with one of these crazy bitches because then they're going to kill them. Look at how it's affected Strider.
Look at the number one grossing female-centric movie of all time for women and even young girls, Barbie. How did that movie fucking open? With a bunch of little girls murdering baby dolls. So this is where I'm going to say everything
Wait,
that I've
what?
said
Yeah.
and everything you just said.
Hold up.
It's all a psyop.
Y'all didn't know that?
Dude, I haven't seen
Yep.
it.
Fuck.
That's
No,
how the movie
no,
opens with
it
the-
opens
No,
up.
they're right.
Barbie appear. It's a whole.
you pull
it's
this
a
up,
whole
Iron?
parody.
Yo,
It's a whole parody of
Okay.
the opening. It's the whole parody of the opening of 2001: A Space Odyssey, where Barbie takes the place of the monolith that is teaching. It comes before these girls. They're dressed like in the 50s, and they're dressed like pretty frilly and pretty girly, playing with baby dolls. And the whole, and I'm summarizing, but the whole intro is that the women had nothing to play with instead of the baby dolls and to simulate motherhood until Barbie came along. And here's Margot Robbie, giant Margot Robbie in a swimsuit, which would be my fantasy come true. But all of a sudden, she presents them a new way of
Roll
living.
that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, just watch. It's disgusting. They know what they're doing here.
Dolls. But the dolls were always and forever baby dolls.
All white girls, by the way.
The girls who
Look at the oppression. Look at the oppression of these poor children
Horrible.
playing with baby dolls.
Look at all the white girls too. Interesting.
And look at their sad face. Yes, the patriarchy. Oh my God. Look at, they're like,
They look like they're in the Holocaust.
I know.
There's a reason for that.
They look like they're in a death camp. What the fuck?
I don't want you to get, I don't want your channel to get hit. So we're going
Oh, my bad.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
Now,
So
here's the
I'm
thing.
keeping it muted.
This would be any man's dream come true. So
Oh yes,
and
but this is now,
until
here we go.
that
Here
happens.
we
Oh,
go.
I see. And then they start.
Began
Fuck.
the baby massacre.
Bro.
Okay, what the fuck?
yeah, trying to make it seem
The-
like Barbie was the only reason that they started
movie
dreaming.
ever for women and girls.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck them kids, right?
Okay. That's
And what
interesting.
What does the modern Barbie encompass? Not the original, just a fashion doll. It's all being narcissistic. You're the best. It's all focused on just you, not, when kids played house, that was actually a form of, prepare. All play is development in a child for the growing up, like that's why boys play the way they do, girls play the way they do, so as they grow up, they become functioning members of society.
Yeah, you get kind of a framework of boundaries and how to
Right.
interact with the world. Yeah, yeah.
Because they're also playing the roles that they're seeing with their parents and in their community too. So they're mimicking that, and
Exactly.
that's the way they were supposed to be. Because men on the playground, what do? We play sports, we play fight, we play war, we play all sorts of things that help us.
Hunter-gatherer,
Yeah. It simulates war, but women simulate maintaining. Well, for young girls, it used to be maintaining a community, maintaining a family, maintaining something to protect, whether they knew it or not.
Yeah, and when usually if my mom was in the education field. When you see little boys and little girls then playing together, what are they going to do? Well, they're not sometimes the little girls will interact, do the games the boys want. Other times the boys will just play house and take on their role of, like whatever they're, being the daddy or this or that, especially the little ones. They don't care. They're just reenacting what they would see in a healthy environment, but not anymore. Anyway.
Yeah. Cowboy,
Great segue
astronaut,
into the next-
policeman.
Yes, that's what I
pilot.
was gonna say. This is a great segue into what I wanted to talk about.
I hate
next.
this already.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the famous Bratz doll reenactment TikTok that's going around right now. So a lot of you guys may not know about this, but if you have a girlfriend or a wife or something that's on TikTok right now, go ahead and scroll through her TikTok. You're probably gonna see shit like this. So this is a woman who is using Bratz dolls to reenact her theory of how the Lindsay Clancy crime actually played out, such that Patrick Clancy was guilty. Not only do I have this video, I also have a video of a woman reacting to it and finding it persuasive. So we're going to watch both. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Quick question. Is this to scale?
Not remotely.
Well,
not remotely. to scale. No, and what's
However, with as obsessive as some of these women are getting, I would not be surprised if it was to scale.
Here's the thing. So not only what's interesting about this, there's two things interesting. One is that she actually reenacted this highly improbable theory of events that relies on a bunch of assumptions. But two, she used children's toys to do it. Children's toys she had in abundance, just lying around. Like
simulating the death and murder of 3 children.
I remember Bratz dolls are not like Barbie. Like Barbie had a career. Bratz dolls are whores. Yeah. These are club whores waiting in line at the bathroom for coke. That's what a Bratz doll is. Barbie had a job. Barbie was an astronaut or a veterinarian or a doctor or a president. Bratz dolls were just whores.
That's true.
Hey, some of them might have been nurses. You don't know.
Well, I mean, 6 one way, half dozen another.
They need a new line of the 30-plus-year-old Bratz dolls. That's about the age they'd be now. That are the reformed whores. You've got getting your GED Brat doll. You've got finishing my way through nursing store. I'm a born again
becoming a physician's assistant. Right, Bratz doll. Becoming a dental hygienist. Bratz doll. Getting my real estate license. Bratz doll.
Shaming the churchmen for not stepping up.
I'm going to start stand-up comedy, Bratz doll. Okay, all right. We're having fun.
Or the
I've had 10 abortions.
Tradwife Bratz doll.
Right.
I'm selling a course. I'm selling a course on biblical womanhood, despite the fact
that Erica Kirk Bratz doll just for you, Theo. You fucking asshole.
Just basically Bratz dolls are Nalaray. Proto Nalaray. That's all they are.
All right, now let's hold on. Let me refresh this so it goes back to the beginning. Hold on. Okay, so this is not playing any sound. Hold on, it's not playing any sound. There it is.
Thank
there
God.
We go.
Will be Patrick Clancy. I'm going to prove that Lindsay Clancy's bedroom was staged using Bratz
it's a Euro trash
reconstruction of the crime scene because I noticed something that absolutely nobody else has noticed. Not even the blood experts.
You noticed something no one else has noticed, guys.
Not even the blood
experts.
Not even the experts who do this professionally.
Blood experts. They're called hematologists, bitch.
Now she put them in accurate outfits. To be clear, to the best of her ability, she put them in accurate outfits. Okay, go ahead.
But unfortunately, my male Bratz doll didn't come with a weaker jawline, and he doesn't have accurate clothing to what Patrick was wearing, other than the first pair of shoes.
Wow, notice that little backhanded insult. Weaker jawline, piece of shit.
Okay, so she's reconstructed the crime scene using a shoebox. Go ahead.
Wow, uncanny.
Blood spot A. This represents the pillow next to the mirror. I've just depicted using just a pencil here, just for reference. Blood spot B, blood spot C, and our drawers, along with our knife. And I've roughly indicated where the cups were and the spray bottles on the bedside table there.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we don't need to watch this whole thing. You're getting the idea. So we're gonna go ahead and skip ahead a little bit.
She's looking at bloody crime scene photos and going, how can I recreate this with my dolls?
So wait, hold on, this is actually kind of funny. She's got him choking. She's got him he actually has the doll choking her there. That's funny. Hold on.
Crush, so let's get into it.
So why wasn't there blood found on Patrick then? If she...
No, she covers that.
For me is what I saw when I saw the blood and the bed. Okay, from the top, I think that the Benadryl in the cup full of lemonade.
Anyway, we're gonna keep pushing on this. It's actually not that fun to control. Yeah. Oh, there we go. See.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So he's choked her out, and now he's holding up her body and slitting her wrists from behind to try to simulate her killing herself. He knows he can't get blood on the bed, so he has to move the bed with her on it to avoid that outcome, and that's what created this blood pattern.
Blood trail from blood spot A.
Anyway,
over here.
And then then he kind of drags her,
creating blood spot B.
Kind of has her doing that.
And drag the bed.
Just moving the body around.
You know she rubbed one out after this. She totally fapped to this.
Anyway, and then this is him dragging it out, dangling her out of the thing. Let's see. How did he accomplish that?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
On the outside and on the inside on opposite sides. And it's at least a few seconds that she's dangling unconscious here, which is where.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
And there she is outside on the snow, well in advance of any of this being put into motion. And there he is. He's finished.
oh, she didn't have to do this.
And now he has to
What's
set
crazy
it.
is she could have just not
Now
put
he
this
has no
on the
smoking
internet.
gun.
That's what's funny about it.
Smoking gun.
I mean, you're asking a woman
Sounds
not
like
to put
examine
something
the
on the
room.
internet? That's impossible.
You could have just
Figure
not
out
done
what
that.
looks unnatural.
Oh my
Move
Lord.
Figure out what looks unnatural. Are you kidding me?
back to where it was.
Is this
Right.
like Patrick?
Okay, big flaw
doesn't-
right there. Then he moved it back to where it was.
Yeah. Which he
Even if
remembered.
there were non-visible blood traces, there would still be blood traces of him
They would-
moving it back to where it was. He
They would
was
be
able to
smeared,
move it
yeah.
without disturbing even the smallest spatter, because when they go in there and look for blood spatter, they're looking for it under UV lights and everything. They're going to find something invisible to the eye that would have
Well-
already the tables and should have been moved around. Let's look into didn't need to.
Well, that makes
Also,
no
this
sense
is-
too, because why wouldn't he clean it up? If he's going through all this trouble to make something, why don't just clean up the blood? Why not just dump her out the
Oh, well,
window
remember,
and then
he had to attack her and make it look like she was trying to kill herself too.
clean
Right.
up the blood? You me after that you're not under a deadline. Oh God, that's so stupid.
Yes. Anyway, Runaway
There's no
Vagabond
point.
is here, friend of the channel. What's up, buddy? Oh, Toasty's here. What's up, girl? How you doing? Toasty's here. I am back. Thank you for noticing. And then Alpha Omega is here. What's up, man? Women's Lib was a mistake. Based.
Yep.
And then Selena is here. Yeah. So, yeah, but this is so anyway. So that was the famous Brat Stall video. Now we're gonna watch this woman finding it compelling, and we're gonna see how that goes.
Lindsay Clancy case, and I'm scrolling through TikTok and I read a comment that says it's because of the Brat Stall video. And immediately I'm like, what the fuck is the Brat Stall video? So I look it up and I watch it. And initially I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is going to be silly. But she makes a literal, and props to her, literal crime scene model of the crime scene, compares it to the actual crime scene photos. And she's using Brat Stalls to, in her mind, show how she thinks the blood spatter got there, and she's walking through it. Okay. And the way she walks through it, as I'm watching it, I'm like, why does this kind of make sense?
Because you're retarded. Go ahead.
You're a fucking idiot.
And then she gets to a part in the video where she shows the actual crime scene, and there are literal like drops of blood that are underneath the leg of the bedside table, which would mean that the bedside table was moved.
No.
Was moved
That's-
over.
Nope.
Blood can get flung.
That's
And
not
then
how
she
physics with
explains
liquid works.
how the
No.
blood spatter on the curtain doesn't match. And then she explains the blood spatter on the window. And it's like, there have been so many details of this case that have been so questionable that have just not made sense. And I think that's why so many people are talking about this case. I think that's why so many.
I don't think that's it. I'm not buying this. The facts pattern is compelling. Narrative for why the case is so popular and so resonant. I'm not buying that.
Well, here's the
There's no
thing.
way.
It's retroactive. The fact pattern is not convincing. They are convinced that Patrick did it, and they're retroactively saying, "Well, this makes sense." No, the evidence did not lead them to this conclusion. It was a conclusion that led them to the evidence in supporting it. That's not.
Yeah,
that's cope.
And do you think it's more that deep down that they know that she did it? They just blame him anyway.
No, here's what I think is happening.
Because a lot these people hate men. These people hate the parent. People hate.
I think they're having a hard time. So, do you remember that study that came out a few weeks ago that suggested that women feel bad punishing someone who doesn't deserve it, and men feel bad punishing someone who does not deserve it? But when it comes time to punish someone who does deserve it, men are gratified by punishing someone who deserves it. That's a good thing. They feel positively about it. Women tend to still feel negatively about punishing someone, even if they deserve it.
Yes.
And that's, I think, what's going on here. I think what is also going on is women have this like overactive, like backwards ass empathy button that can get,
Suicidal
you know,
empathy.
misdirected. And so I think what has happened here is that women are feeling a ton of resonance with Lindsay Clancy, but they don't, because a lot of their identity is wrapped up in being seen as a good person. They can't identify with someone who's done something that bad. So they have to come up with some narrative that absolves her so that they can continue to sit with these emotions of identifying with her.
It makes a lot of sense because instead of just saying,
go ahead, Iron.
Real quick, one thing I just want to point out: you look at another piece of popular media that's extremely popular with women in particular, and that's Law and Order. So Law and Order used to be a really good show. I used to watch it. Even SVU, which is kind of the top Law and Order now, because again, sex violence, TV show with legal drama and women. Yeah, that's a big combination. Now I start watching that show and I got turned off by it because a lot of the episodes, they finally find out who the monster is, man, woman, whatever. And then they go into, but their childhood. But they were abused. They're still going to go to prison. But then everybody feels really, really, really bad about it at the end. The tranny has to go to General Pop in a male prison. Oh no!
Tough situation.
Oh no! We brought the murderer to justice.
Poisoned her whole family just to find this. Oh no!
It's like we brought the murderer to justice, but we as a society, we all lose by doing. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like that's, and you're hearing that so much.
Don't feel bad about jailing them.
In the Lindsay Clancy case, we're seeing that where people are saying the system failed her, but as we've all kind of brought up, it's unclear to me at what point the system failed her. It's unclear to me at what more could have been done. And here's the thing: let's grant that I will grant. Because I've heard some women say they just get the ick from Patrick Clancy. They feel like intuitively that he might be up to something. And I'll grant you fully that he is a very shitty, let's say emotionally abusive husband, where he's rude. And he's just a tough guy to live with, right? He's just a bad husband. I'll give you that fully. You still cannot murder your children about it. Right. I'll give you that having kids is stressful and you're flooded with hormones and it's up and down and you're emotional and you're depressed and you're anxious and that feels really bad. I'll give you that. You still may not murder your children about it. And if you are so crazy that you can't tell that murdering your children is wrong, I'm like, well, thanks for your honesty. Into the wood chipper. Like that. I'm glad you told me. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you felt comfortable sharing that with me. Now in you go. And that's it. I don't care.
See ya. Yeah.
I'm no. And what it looked, I thought a key part of her argument is that, mental health care didn't help. Well,
she had access to it. She had more access to it than most people. What about all the single moms out there raising 3 kids on their own and getting by?
Well, I'm the oldest of 3 kids. Not once did my mom ever want to murder us. And out of millions of babies that are born every year, millions of new mothers.
She probably did. I mean, Strider, respectfully, I've met you. There's at least one.
No, we were 3 boys. We were 3 boys in a household. We were rowdy. We fussed. We fought like because it's what 3 boys do. But not once did my mom want to kill us. And not once would my dad want to kill my mom. Like there are millions and millions of new mothers who don't do this every single year since the beginning of fucking time. Millions of people have not done this. And it was just crazy to me is how much women have just shot themselves in the foot with this, because PPD is a thing. Postpartum depression is a thing. And that is medically a thing because your hormones, they don't go haywire. They do what they're supposed to do while you're pregnant. And then once you give birth, all of a sudden those hormones change form. I'm boiling down biology to like a minute thing here, but you do have to reestablish a baseline. Your hormones kind of come down to change, change shape and change function. So that can mentally, because your hormones are what determine your mood or what determine your thinking, your feeling, and your emotional state half the time. That can be a rough time. what they're doing by tying this to PPD is so hilariously incompetent and stupid, because instead of having a legitimate conversation like, this is not what PPD is, this is not what it does, this is not what it looks like, this is psychotic, this is crazy, women are now saying, no, it is because of PPD, it's not going to make me, is going to make you kill your kids. And by having so many women
You motherfucker
come out and do
just
this
admit
shit,
that not another.
I
Speaking of PPD,
actually have a point to
go ahead.
this. I actually asked my wife yesterday in regards to this.
Yeah.
So if PPD can make your hormones that crazy, are you okay with removing pregnant women's right to vote then?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Honest, it needs to be asked.
and
Or should we
if we're-
have all
if we're-
women mandatory commitment for like 4 or 5 weeks after birth?
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny. These are
Supervised
questions. These are questions that their line of thinking has brought up, because again, millions and millions of women do not do this and
So
are
many-
perfectly sane, are perfectly capable of being normal parents by not murdering their kids. But because women have now brought this to the forefront, we're going to have all sorts of conversations they're not going to want to have.
Like, yeah, if you're talking about like legally, I guess not condoning, but like giving a pass to this person, it's like, okay, this is a very dangerous condition to have. Like, we don't allow people to drive drunk. Like, we stop people from doing that. Are you now bringing up the topic of like, okay, we're talking about the guiding principle for the entire country. That's fucking crazy that you'd just be ready and willing to allow that.
And this is the thing.
crazy.
It's like, okay, because women say they want to be treated exactly the same as a man, and they don't understand that with that comes this. There's a belief that I think almost all women have. I've never met a woman who did not have this belief, that if she's mad, she can do absolutely anything she wants until she's no longer mad. And all of it is just a mulligan. She just gets a mulligan on all of it. She's like, well, I was mad and that's it. Or like, I was upset.
I was
I
on my period.
Or whatever. Like, I think women on some level, I have yet to meet a woman who doesn't believe that. Somewhere deep down, they believe they're allowed to just kind of do whatever sometimes and be like, I'm just a girl. And then they get a pass. Like, they believe that, right? And I think the culture enforces that idea. If they really wanted to be treated fully equally, then that would have to go away, right? And I don't think any women want to be held to that standard. And I think what's being revealed here is they're really, and this is why I think a lot of men are disgusted right now, is we're finding out there isn't a ceiling on what women are willing to give other women a pass for. There actually isn't a ceiling on that, because this is the worst thing you could think of, pretty much. Unless the only thing be worse is if she killed her kids like because they were black or something. That's the only way it would be worse, right? But it's not. She did it because they were annoying, and all kids are annoying. Or because she was stressed.
That girl in the park that used the naughty word.
Yeah.
It's
this shit gets a
funny how
pass.
that works.
It's crazy. Yeah. And so what's crazy, the other thing too, is if this woman did the same thing she did to these kids to 3 puppies instead of 3 human children, she'd be public enemy number 1. They'd be running her up a flagpole, they'd be over, right? But she did it to 3 children. And for some reason, this has hit this. And I'm trying to understand it. It is hard. I think a lot of men are kind of like disgusted right now. And I think the men have more of the right of this one. I think this is more true, where I think their position is like a little more rooted. Like, you cannot give this woman a pass. You cannot. No, that cannot be a pass. That you cannot write her a blank check, because I understand that like having children is hard. No one's disputing that. But you cannot, that does not give you a pass to do anything.
Yeah.
There has to be a limit somewhere. There has to be a limiting principle. And well, what we're finding out is I want to do this video because this video addresses the postpartum claims. directly. And there's been a lot of wild stuff going around about postpartum over the past couple of days. I have no fucking idea what is true and what isn't. I have no idea. But this lady is going to educate us. The caption of this video is, this Lindsay Clancy case has unearthed a deep guttural generational rage.
So not only is she a leftist, she is a hippie leftist. As if she could get any more insufferable.
But also, real quick, something to think about. Something to think about while we're watching this video. Why is it that this has split? You know, it does seem to be mostly leftist women, but you know, there are women ostensibly on the right who are giving this woman a pass as well. So I can't even really say. And here's the thing: there's different degrees, right? There's women who think that the husband did it. There's women who think the patriarchy did it. There's women who think she should get a pass because, you know, kids are annoying. There's you know, there's women who think that she, you know, factually did not do it though, but it all seems to be coming from the same place. And then there's women who are just like, well, what are you gonna do? I mean, the system failed her, which is a sort of like pitched as a moderate position, but still feels like a significant cop out to me. You know, I don't know. Anyway, and then there's ladies like that. There's a whole spectrum of views on this, but I gotta be honest, none of them are good.
But you know,
none of them are good.
It's interesting how much women are very much making Patrick out to be the bad guy just because the way he looks, the way he appears. I'm sorry, I am not. I've seen more of Lindsay Clancy's face than I ever wanted to see, and she does not look sympathetic. Like, all of her interactions looks exactly like this stone-faced, no sympathy, no nothing. At least Amber Heard, we remember that, as psychotic as she was, she tried to look attractive, she tried to look soft. This woman is dead-eyed. It's like,
Lindsay, can you look hotter at your trial? Strider wants to fat.
I mean, they're not even trying to look sympathetic. She's like, her face isn't changed.
More goon-worthy, Lindsay.
No.
Well, it's just funny that it doesn't seem like even the defense is trying to help her out here.
We want to goon to the murderer.
You could put her in all the makeup and whatever out. No, it's the eyes, dude.
That's my point. Yeah,
she's got those black fucking eyes.
You know what? I am. Go ahead.
Oh, she's got that grippy sock look.
Yes, grippy socks, grippy box. Very common. Very common. Yes, sir. And well, here's the thing. As much as we want to bag on her for being a murderer, she is disabled, and we know how I love a woman with a disability. So, and she's crazy, which means I can fuck her and then kind of put her in park. And she's, you know, you get the crazy pussy, but then you don't lose her.
Hey baby, what that wheelchair do?
Wheelchair do, baby. Wheelchair pussy, friend of the channel. All right, we're back. We're back, guys.
If it was Vagabond, it wouldn't be Step on Me, Mommy. It would be Roll Over Me, Mommy.
Yeah.
God damn it. Oh man, let's check in with the channel. Let's check in the comments. Simple solution: repeal the Knights 19th. Bring back exiling and bully simps. Yeah, honestly,
I'm okay with bullying simps.
We have a society. I think everyone is agreeing that we moved in a direction that is too forgiving of too much, and it's not just women, it's anybody that gets pushed into that box of victim or gets the baby treatment, gets babied. And that includes your bottom 2% of society that happens to do all of the violent crimes and all of the property crimes. It's the bottom 2%. It's the people who with no impulse control, who you know, are just, the second they have an opportunity to commit a crime, they just do it, and they're never going to learn to act right, and you just have to put them in jail so the rest of us can live in peace.
And they keep getting let out. And again, this goes to what are the judges letting, like, to let the killer of that girl on the on the train about a year ago, you know, he had like 19, 20, 30, you know, violent offenses, release, repeat. it all goes back to women judges, women in places of power, women with suicidal empathy, women that, well, we don't know, you're the real victim, not the, the woman you sucker punched into into the sidewalk.
Yeah. And I think it comes down to this different sensibility about punishment, about we should all about, and that leads to them, I think, overextending compassion. When you expend too much compassion to the perpetrator, you actually commit a different type of injustice to the victim and to the people that perpetrator will continue to victimize. So
yeah,
it's not a good thing here. But again, this is a very taboo. This is kind of a third rail topic. But that's what we do here. Let's go ahead and play this video. I want to get through this. This lady is very upset. This Lindsay Clancy case has unearthed a deep guttural rage. So she's a leftist hippie that we're going to see.
Generational rage. I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah. She is Starseer Kaylee, as the universe, so the soul, steward of planet Earth, protect of public lands, just be cool to each other for fuck's sake. Okay. She's got a bush, but it grips. That's what we can tell from this.
Just be cool to each other, except for the 3 kids.
And look at that. Look at that hair texture. Imagine. Anyway, that's enough of that. Sorry, guys. It's a professional show. It's a professional show. This is not. That's not. Don't condone. Disavow. And another. You could just tell she hasn't showered in a while too. Look at this.
Oh yeah, she's a hippie. They don't.
All right.
Know if they're
all right. That's enough of that. We're not going to talk. She's probably taking air showers. All right. That's enough. It's covering her naked body in incense and okay, all right, you know what, we're done with that.
Theo, tap on your own time, okay?
All right, we're gonna cover this later. We're gonna cover this later. Go ahead.
About this Lindsay Clancy case that is bringing up the rage within me that is like generational at this point is the fucking men who think that they can come in here, take up fucking space, and speak on things they don't fucking know anything about.
Isn't she tough, guys?
Like her defense attorney, like her defense team. Do those men are allowed to speak on this? Bitch.
Isn't she tough, guys?
Y'all need to learn when to shut the fuck up and sit the
She's doing
fuck
bird hands.
down.
She's doing the thing.
You have no idea what fucking postpartum depression is. Calling it baby blues, you motherfuckers. Just admit
women
that
call
not
it
every
baby
fucking
blues.
room wants to actually hear your fucking opinion. Let the women cook. And as a
We're trying. You're telling us that's beneath you.
We agree with her.
Your terms are
agree with her on
acceptable.
that. That was based. That was based. Hold on. Let's remove it after that. Let's leave it on that. I agree. Let the women cook. Women cooking, friend of the channel.
I would let the woman cook, but I don't feel like burying my 3 children prematurely because you killed them.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Was that the whole thing? Was there
No,
more
there's
to that?
more, but like it's all along that
There's
same
more, but
line.
it's
You know what?
not really-
Actually, let's bring it up. Let's see.
Well,
see what
let's
else she's
also
got.
keep in mind the prosecutors are female, and from what I've seen, unless I'm looking at the wrong people, but the chief defense attorney is male. So
what's
does he get a
crazy
say?
is like they said that a lot of women do not like the prosecutor, and they're like calling her ugly, which she objectively is like ontologically ugly, but they're basically calling her ugly. And she made some weird choices. Like she's wearing bows in her hair like similar to the bows that the children would have worn. But this woman is like very middle-aged. So it's an odd choice. But yeah, they're just bullying her for her appearance basically, or they're calling her a pick-me or something, even though she's just like doing her job.
matter of fact, at this point, go call all the women in your family and tell them that you're fucking sorry. Because I know damn well that you are a terrible fucking partner. I'm definitely qualified to talk about men's issues. Like, is male pattern baldness actually that big of a deal? Like, maybe if you took better care of your hair. Like, you're letting yourself go. Low testosterone.
Genetic,
oh my
bitch.
God.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? See how it immediately see how it immediately stops being about the issue. It immediately goes to like personal appearance-based attacks. You see what I'm saying? So she doesn't actually have anything like worthwhile to say. She's just upset and kind of screaming into the void on the internet. Like she doesn't have anything to contribute to the discourse. And I think a lot of what's going on now here is, these women are like very upset. That's clear to me. Like I'm seeing that, I'm sensing that, but they don't have, I don't know that there's like anything valuable that they're contributing, but they seem to believe that, and by the way, I think this is circulating most of all on TikTok. That's what has come to the conclusion. I think if you're like an Instagram first person, or you're
I'm seeing it a ton on Instagram. I'm seeing a lot.
Was it going on Instagram too? Ah, shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a woman thing, so it's gonna be where the women are, and women are on Instagram, and there's a lot of family accounts that are making jokes about it. Like what? The husband comes home. I've seen this trend a lot. The husband comes home and asks, "What'd you do all day today?" And these bitches are stay-at-home mothers, and they're just playing audio of the trial over it. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is my full-time job. Like, people died. Kids died. What are you doing?
Yeah, and how much of this is like a fun hobby? Oh no, shit, that's copyrighted music. Okay, let's go ahead. This lady at the cemetery,
just mute it for taste. I hate that.
Wearing pink and telling the ghosts what Patrick did.
So Theo, this is a thing. This is a whole thing. This is how you know this is crazy. This is a whole thing. She is not. This is. I've seen this before. I've seen I told the bees. I told the trees. I told the rocks. I told the rivers.
Why?
That Patrick Clancy did it. I don't know, because for some reason, well, here's why. Because women think that simply speaking something into existence makes it happen. It's their magic words. That's why witchcraft is based on magic words. Women speak things into. No, and like that's a whole thing. And so they think that by speaking it to nature, it's just gonna magically make things happen. But that's how you influence.
What are we showing this? What are we seeing here? What are we showing?
This is only 15 seconds.
Go ahead.
Patrick Clancy has pissed off the witches. All the witches. My FYP is full of witches who think Patrick did it. And we're doing
no.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on?
So he pissed off witch talk, and it is a whole thing.
Okay.
They're all commenting on it.
What is happening?
I know we didn't burn witches back in the day. We hanged them, but maybe we should do that again.
This is not. Yeah, this seems like. Oh man, I don't know, dude. This. Yeah, it does seem like very much like witchcraft or like nature worship or something that's going on right now. Especially this lady who. It's weird. It's weird. And all of this, what I really didn't understand, and I don't know if we need videos for this. Maybe we'll find it, but there you can kind of see it in the thumbnail. But women, all wearing matching outfits and showing up to the courthouse to support this woman, and some of them bringing their young children with them, bringing their babies. Some of them brought their daughters who were old enough to know what was going on.
Yeah.
And why would you bring your children to show support for the child murderer? That is something I am struggling with. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys?
Well,
what am I missing?
You're not a part of the mass psychosis. I mean, and I hate to say it, but we all are very well aware that women are very much prone to these mass psychotic episodes.
Okay, now let me ask you something, because this is something I want to get to. How many of these women that are caught up in this were also caught up in the ICE protests, or were also caught up in the Planned Parenthood hysteria, or maybe the Ukraine thing, or I don't know, whatever the issue du jour was? How many of these women are chronic addicts to current thing? Is that what's going on, or is this something else?
Probably all of them, because you got to think about it. Who are the most susceptible to being taken into cults? Women.
It's single women, for sure.
That's just a fact. Also, who do they target? The Marxists initially target in colleges. It's always young women.
Single women, yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's also never forget, historically, like the real only reason the Nazis came to power is they cornered the female vote. Like, women came out to vote for Nazis, women to vote Nazis into power time and time again, because they had them by the figurative balls. It's crazy, like by a magnitude of 40% more than any other. And we're talking social democrats, like, because they're like basically light socialists in Germany. So I mean, they not even like light socialism could get these women. It's just like totalitarianism, and again, Nazism, very striking colors, very bold plans. So of course it grabbed a bunch of the women vote in.
You sound like a huge fan.
Yeah, subject matter expert. Flex it.
Yeah.
Strider.
I mean,
huge fan.
You do have a point, and you're right. And the same thing happened in China as well during their revolution. They went after the women first, and once they got them, that it went from there.
Well, and there's a reason for that because, like I've said before, I don't think this. I'm not saying anything that anyone doesn't already know. Women are very much consensus based. That's their whole purpose in society is to generate and maintain consensus. So if a consensus was imposed upon them from the top down, then like for instance like communism, they targeted women because they create the consensus, they create the power, and then women maintain that by maintaining the consensus. And so
when a woman is doing this, right, because this woman's not famous or whatever, right, but there's a bunch of different women on TikTok who have relatively small accounts who are posting videos of themselves with their babies that have the caption "Same Lindsay," right? So they're with their babies just hanging out, vibing, and they're man.
She's doing that because...
But is she saying same Lindsay? Okay, wait, but hold on. Is she saying same Lindsay like I want to kill this little shit too? Or is she saying same Lindsay like I feel from the text in the diary entries like I feel overwhelmed, I feel sad, he won't sleep, whatever. I feel like I'm bad at this, whatever. Is that what she means by same Lindsay? Or does she mean same Lindsay, I also want to kill this little shit?
I think it's both. And what really infuriates me about this, look, this woman, she had the free time to do this, set up the fucking lighting, get it just right, get her cry just right in her very fucking nice, way bigger than a lot of us have, air-conditioned home.
Yeah.
Living the most privileged life you can fucking imagine.
Yeah.
And sitting there sobbing away.
A little crazy.
Same mom.
And
Lindsay.
Look at that. The same Lindsay over an expression of love presented to her by her kids.
Yeah.
Her kids gave her a card saying how much she loved him. And she's like, yeah, I want to kill them. You fucking piece of shit.
Birthday decorations. Oh.
And notice she keeps notice the crying, and she keeps glancing back into her camera, just making sure that she's in focus.
Yeah, what are we doing here, guys? What am I missing? Because it's very hard. I wish we had shout out to the 4%. We love you guys. I wish we had more female viewers though, because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I am missing about this. What do I not get? Because
her first mistake is ordering the Bissell Green machine. That thing can't suck worth nothing. I'm sorry. That thing sucked as a carpet cleaner.
So we got a bunch of self-reports going on today.
Yeah.
The suction on that's terrible.
Okay, hold on. Here, guys. Now, this is Paige something or other, friend of the channel. You might remember her because she had her blue-collar husband, and she was mad that after his 80-hour-a-week work shifts, he wasn't also deep cleaning the kitchen. You might remember her from that video. But she's back. Paige, friend of the channel. Love to have you on. Let's see what she's got to say. I bet her take is reasonable and nuanced. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go. Okay, hold on. I have to refresh this.
This is the first time we're ever hearing Theo telling a woman to talk.
Oh, motherfucker. All right, let's see. There we go. Go ahead.
You have to unmute it as well, bud.
There we go. Okay, there we go.
An example of why so many women don't want to get married and have children. And people keep racking their brains. Why are young women choosing not to get married? Why are women staying single for longer? By
the way, she's using this case as an example of why women now don't want to get married. That's her take. Anyway, go ahead.
Women not having kids. Well, all you have to do is look at this trial. First and foremost, what happened is awful. I'm not talking about whether or not she's guilty or innocent, but just the facts of the trial, what they're sharing with us about the dynamics between Lindsay and Patrick and the caregiving that happened in their home and how much Lindsay was doing as a mother, how hard.
With a nanny and
wasn't.
Right.
She wasn't caring for anyone. The facts of the trial show that. God damn it.
It's crazy. Poor Strider. Give Strider a crash out break, everybody. W's in the chat for Strider's crash outs. W's in the chat. We're trying to find Strider a wife. Remember, ladies, he is 6'4". Please send your feet to Strider's inbox on Twitter. if you are interested. Send feet to apply. Actually, send them to me, and then I'll send them to Strider. If I like
Yeah, you'll filter.
I'll
them
be the
for me,
screening
so I'll forget it.
process. Just send them to me. Send
Just the
feet
tasteful
to
ones.
me to apply to be
It's
Strider's
just-
wife.
I mean,
All right.
it's one thing to believe, have an opinion, but if it's one thing to just completely ignore evidence presented in court.
Right. Well, and her
Because
whole brand
I don't
is
understand- I
men
don't
are
understand
is
this.
men. Her whole brand is men don't help out enough around the house. So she's making this about that so that she can insert herself. Let's
Hard
see.
she was trying as a mother, how exhausted and how burnt out she was, and how very little support she received, especially from her partner.
Okay, very little support is wild. That's what I think is crazy. Is this
He's the one
narrative that's
ignoring
emerging that
that.
she was a a very put upon mother who was doing it all herself, and it was just her against the world, and she was overworked and overwhelmed, and no one supported her, and no one took care of her, and no one checked in on her to see if she was suffering. None of that is true. None of that is true. Like, all of that is just it's recasting her as the victim. It's inventing an imaginary set of facts that never existed to reskin her as the victim.
And this isn't just testimony. This is proven statements in court. This is as serious and true as it can possibly get. It's not just it's not just true. It's goddamn true.
Yeah.
She's still ignoring that.
She had a meditation room. My mom didn't have a meditation room.
She had her own meditation room, guys.
Dude, my meditation room is the bathroom. Like, it's just, you just sit on there.
Most men's meditation room is the bathroom or the garage if they have one, or the backyard if they have one. If they're lucky enough to have a home like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is Selena's
gotta
making
be
a good
honest with
point.
me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like within the circle talk here. Do you ever just come up with projects to like just be outside for a few and just like, I don't want to see anybody. I want to find the most miserable sounding thing to do just to have a few minutes to yourself.
Everybody does.
Oh,
Everybody
perfect.
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's normal.
I was when I was married, I would look for stuff and the outside to do, just get out of the house, just to kind of put something right outside. But that's like
a healthy, normal way for men to decompress. Because again, like those women, that woman that was just crying over, having to put up the birthday decor. Oh, I got a little note from my I'm feeding a baby. And there's no consideration for what men do at all. Like that Page woman you were showing, we dissected her first video.
Right.
Should things go both ways and a marriage be a partnership and both parties be looking out for the best interests of each other? Absolutely. It's turned into a very one-sided
I think,
thing over
and now I think
because there's no understanding of each other's role anymore, because for whatever reason, it's always men stepping in and helping the woman. It's never the woman stepping in and helping the man with anything.
Well,
because
I
it's
think
only
what's
men
going
who are
on
expected to do
is
this.
like we've kind of hit a point where women were like, we want to be allowed to do, and then they had a long list of things, and men were like, okay, and it was, we want to be naked in public, we want to have jobs, we want to vote, we want to be naked in public, we want to do as much porn as we want, and we want to be whores and make a ton of money, but you can't call us whores, and we want to be able to kill our children in the womb. Okay, now we want to be able to kill our children out of the womb. And men were finally like, fucking no, you can't do that. Fucking no.
You messed one, Theo. But men also have to pay for all the first dates and all of the lifestyle afterwards.
So you get the freedom of a
and men
whore
also
and
have
the
to
social treatment of a lady with the freedom of a whore.
And we also have to give up our seat in the subway and the bus for a woman for no reason. We also have to extend our umbrella.
Changed just the power dynamic has shifted.
Right. Well, and it used to be there were categories, right? So this is what you got to understand. Not every lady got lady treatment. Like some women, we just decided we're lost. We're never going to be wives. We made those whores. And they got to have freedom. They got to do whatever the fuck they wanted. They got to fuck everybody. And they just died of syphilis early, but it was a hell of a 32 years, right? That was the trade-off they made. And they never got to be like the lady of the manor. Every once in a while, they would fuck a king and have a king's bastard. There's one lady in like France that got like in one of the first ever recorded instances of a thirst trap. An artist painted her and the king made her one of his personal whores. So she died a lot wealthier than she started, you know, because he saw her nudes and we're like, hell yeah, brother, get that ass over here. That happened, right? But it was understood. Whores got treated like whores and ladies got treated like ladies. And there was a certain code of conduct that went along with that. But now we're in a situation where women want all the freedom of being a whore with all of the positive treatment associated with being a lady. And so men are kind of like saying, hey, what do we get? And they're like, you get me. That's what the whore provides. The whore provides her company. And in exchange, she gets money. But that she doesn't get treated like a lady. She doesn't get the social status of a lady. She doesn't get wifed like a lady. She gets treated like a whore, but she gets paid for her company, her aura, her ambiance. So now we've got women who want to be purely decorative in the way that a whore is, but they also want to be cherished the way that a wife is. And that is where men are like, now your prices are too high. I'm not going to do that. You're going to not have any of the virtue that I would expect from somebody that I could trust and commit my life to. Is like, no, and I'm not going to treat you like you're special when you're not acting in a special way. You're acting in like a rude, obnoxious, difficult to be around way. And I think it's finally gotten to this is a big moment where women are like, if you really cared, you would understand. And guys are like, you know what? Fuck it. Ask the bear. I don't care. Ask the bear. I don't care. Goodbye.
Go tell the bear.
Yeah,
well,
dude.
Theo, it's interesting. How old is that trend? Like 2 years at least.
Yeah.
And we're still bringing it up. So, you know, as I mentioned before, we men remember this shit. We will file this away for future use, not because we want to, because we have to for our own protection. You want to say that a wild animal whose instincts will kill you is safer than me, a guy who can choose not to kill you? Okay, well, I'm going to follow that for a future reference. You're going to tell me that because you get the baby blues, and yes, I am using that disrespectfully, that means you get to kill my kids? Well, I'm going to file that away for future reference.
That's okay.
Women, you do not understand. You do not present anything in a vacuum. Men will hear about this. Even men who aren't on the internet as much will still at least be familiar with the statement because the people around them are familiar with the statement. Nothing that you say happens in a vacuum. There is going to be bounce back, and you can either choose to be wise about it or be stupid about it. And most of the time you choose to be stupid about it. Stop doing this and you won't be alone and sad.
That she came home from a hospital where she was receiving mental health treatment and then immediately was put back into full-time caregiver mode with no help because she seemed fine is crazy to me. Like the idea that Lindsay was the primary parent doing doctor's appointments and food and medication and everything for these children, and her husband was still considered like a good dad and she was considered an overbearing, controlling mom is crazy.
Remember, millennial fathers are the most active generation of fathers since we've been keeping track. Mm-hmm. And the other thing too is, by all appearances, she was a psycho overbearing mom. She was like, that's not even
like, this is the thing. Like women.
Yeah, we're not even really disputing.
Like amongst ourselves are talking to each other and saying how hard and difficult not only is motherhood, but marriage after children, because so often the work lands on our plate. All of the work, the laundry, the cooking, the cleaning, the doctor appointments, the phone calls, the medication, which one, this one or that one.
Yes.
Women are the ones carrying all of that.
Yes, because that's your fucking job. You don't, you literally, everything else, your involvement makes it worse. I think women don't understand that. Like everything that they're involved in, they make worse. I had this argument recently. I was talking to a friend of mine about women's sports, And I was like, it's like, what pisses me off is you guys don't want to just watch your own shit. You want us to watch it and say it's just as good. And women's basketball is not as good as men's basketball. You're not going to see anything like a prime Derrick Rose in women's basketball. You're not going to see a 360 windmill dunk at the WNBA. And she was like, yes, you will. I was like, no, you won't. There's nothing that looks like prime Derrick Rose in the WNBA. She's like, yes, there is. It is just as good. It is just as good. And I was just like, no. And it's like, it's there.
Well, let's also.
I don't want to. Here's the thing. I don't want to have to like keep pretending that their opinions are like just as valid when they're completely not connected to reality. That's what's hard for me is I have to keep talking to these people like, right, no, you like everything you're involved in, you make it worse, but no, you're just the same as a man. And it's awesome. It's awesome that the WNBA is just as good as the NBA. Your involvement didn't totally ruin it. Yeah, it's great that it's just women on all the ESPN shows now. That has definitely made it better. Oh yeah, it's great that that every movie stars an empowered girl boss. That's awesome. I'm so glad Kathleen Kennedy took over the direction of Star Wars. That was awesome. It's like, yeah, more women judges have definitely improved the criminal justice system, and more women politicians have made us a stronger country. That is all true. You're right. I think we need to like explore our nation's feminine side. You know, let's explore the feminine side of the military. Like, let's do that. I'm
lower standards for everything. Just
yeah, sure you know what,
you're involved and leading.
Yeah. Well, Theo, you're saying it's making it worse. What's the NBA known for now? I mean, the two biggest players are Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, and I've never followed it in the WNBA a day in my life, but I know those two people. But those players, obviously they can't hold a candle to like LeBron or Mike or MJ or even Kobe. But what are those women, their fellow players, their fellow teammates doing? They're beating the shit out of those women.
Fighting,
they're fouling them like crazy. Yes. And like we've seen a foul in men's basketball that's like, okay, that was kind of intentional, but that's not. We don't see players being assaulted as if it was like a Waffle House brawl at 3 a.m. in the Bronx.
It's
like we're seeing people like Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark beating the shit out of them.
Well, okay, and this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say in defense of the WNBA. There are aspects of it interesting. First of all, the pure jealousy that's directed at any player that is remotely successful is fascinating and exactly what you'd expect. Second of all, one thing that a lot of people are not considering is that a lot of these players are dating each other. So, or have dated each other, or are currently cheating on each other, or were recently caught cheating on each other. A lot of that is happening. So that is the subtext of why some of these physical altercations take a weird direction on the court. That aspect is interesting. Can you imagine in the NBA if that was happening? If like Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant were like having a gay affair covertly, you know what I mean? Like Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant were like having a gay affair with each other before meeting in the finals, and then they had to be like, Kobe, I can't, Kobe, I can't do this. It's like, come over here and take this black mamba. I don't know what it would be. But I'm just saying that
Penny Hardaway, I just can't quit you.
I can't. You can't say that wouldn't make it more interesting.
It'd be hilarious.
Like, the level of skill isn't there. And so it's not interesting. So I don't want to watch it. And I'm not like a bad person because I don't want to watch it. And we're just at a point where like, it's pretty obvious, I think. And this goes into, I brought it up on the show before. I think it's the great feminization hypothesis, where all these phenomenon that we observe as woke are actually just the way women like socialize and solve problems, and it works great in the kindergarten classroom, but as soon as you scale it up it to the society level, it ends up being disastrous. That could be what we're observing here. I don't know. I think there is something to this. For it's even a kindergartner, there's only so wrong a kindergartner can be. Kind of no matter what a kindergartner does, on some level, you should try to figure out why it happened and maybe have some level of understanding and, mete out a just punishment and go. I mean, and you would never feed a kindergartner into the wood chipper unless you were Lindsay Clancy, then you might, but you would never You would never do that as a punishment for a kindergartner, right? So on some level, you're always going to give the kindergartner a chance to rejoin society. Unfortunately, when you apply that to the criminal justice system, you get all kinds of problems. It's no good. It's no good. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, I wanted to show this video. This video is like, this is a lady reacting to a lady. So we are going to have some good ladies on the show. Don't say I never did any favors for you. All right. Let's go ahead and I had to refresh this so it plays.
She looks like a balloon.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's what's going on. Is the front-facing camera warps everybody's face, which is part of
women will do absolutely everything in their power to absolve other women of guilt. Look at this video from an actual licensed therapist.
Remember, licensed therapist is like the black belt of women. If you're a licensed therapist, that's a woman will treat you like you're a wizard.
Not only do you have the empathy card, but you also have the education card.
Right. You have all the things.
The authority card.
Yeah. So women will automatically like defer to you. You can just play that card like crazy, even if you say wild shit like this lady.
Lindsay Clancy trial is going to be one of the most significant trials of your lifetime. We are all experiencing something completely unprecedented. Never before have we seen so many mothers and women rally behind somebody who confessed to killing her 3 children. And it is not because we cannot hold women accountable. Many of us see ourselves in Lindsay. Many of us know that we could have been only one step away from doing some of those horrific things.
Many of us are one step away from doing those horrific things. That is a hell of a self-report.
Make Gilead great again. Let's do it.
God damn.
You know, the more you see, it's so funny. I mean, as much as
that means all women need to be treated as possible threats and have. I mean,
so
you
that's
can't
what I'm
argue for
saying.
gun laws and not for for this. Just saying.
So what are we?
Make slap a bitch great again.
What is happening right now? Because I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing, because these are other women that were presumably ordinary yesterday. Were all of them harboring these beliefs kind of covertly? Was that happening? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see.
Because we experienced significant mental health issues after one of our children was born. And many of us know just how dark some of those thoughts get.
God damn.
So yeah, this is going to be one of the most significant trials of your.
What do you mean you can relate to her? What do you mean so many women have had the same thoughts? You guys are just openly saying you've had thoughts about your kids?
Yeah, so I will say, kind of in defense of women. Women are kind of having a rough week here on the show. But been a rough couple of years on touch grass for women, actually. But I will say, in women's defense on this one, like I said at the beginning of the show, also the people who are criticizing Lindsay Clancy the loudest are women. That's also true. So it's not just the people that are caping for her the hardest and like showing up at the courthouse. And it does seem like it's like a few hundred. So it's like a good amount that are showing up at the courthouse. And then a good amount more that are following the case on TikTok and think something fishy is going on with the fact. I don't think it's inherently disordered to think something fishy is going on with the facts. I mean, all of us love a good conspiracy, whatever. But there is an element to this. I don't know what. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh my.
Yeah, since you just said about the conspiracy with the husband and everything. Now, real quick, before I play this, I want to just read that. Just so we're clear on the facts, Lindsay admitted she killed her 3 kids. Patrick has a solid alibi, CVS camera and phone records, and was never a suspect. There is zero evidence he was involved. This is, I hate the word, but it is a conspiracy theory. All right, let's play.
We're talking about the Lindsay Clancy trial. What's your take?
Her husband, he murdered the kids.
So can you tell me what evidence you've seen that would lead you to believe that? I'm neutral. All right. So that's one of the claims that have been going around the internet lately. that it's suddenly the father's fault, even though he's never been charged. He's not on trial. There's no evidence that he had anything to do with the killing of the children. There's no evidence. We're talking about the Lindsay Clancy trial.
The towering bastion of masculinity of the man that she's walking with.
Yeah.
That should terrify him.
Oh, right. No. Yeah, who didn't say a word. Let me just pull that. That's a good point out, Strider. Let me pull that up real quick, just so you can see.
Well, also, she doesn't
Look at
feel like
this
she has
guy.
to defend it. She just feels like, well, this is where women and magic words come into play. She doesn't feel like she can defend it. She doesn't feel like she has to. All she has to do is say it, and it magically becomes true.
Fascinating. Okay, so one thing I've heard, what is actually kind of persuasive to me is a lot of women feel like Patrick Clancy in particular gives them the ick. They're just like creeped out by him on like a vibes basis. I do think they're look, he maybe does suck. That might be true.
Doubt it.
I mean,
Might be.
I don't know. It might. That's the thing. Is like it's like I know it's true. It's like I don't know that you know that, and also the fact that like this is Selena coming out, zero evidence. It was premeditated. She told him to leave the house, and this is what a lot of people on the other side of this are saying is like, what about the fact that she told him to leave the house, Googled how long it would take for him to be gone, and then this is the really important part, strangled her 3 children to death with exercise bands. That's the important part.
Had to chase the oldest one to catch him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, and it wasn't just all at once. It wasn't just like throw them in the oven or something. It was one by one. After the first one, after the second one, after the third one, she did it all individually, strangling 3 children.
That means after the first one, then you go to the others that are terrified and begging.
Yeah.
Their mom
took them in the other room. Yeah.
Bro.
And all the while, Theo, it gets worse. All the while, she used to, and this is where there's no evidence that he was a bad father. She was texting him hearts and lovey-dovey shit. And texting him all this lovey-dovey stuff as she's strangling his offspring.
God,
choking the life out of 3 kids, looking at them. This isn't something we could. This is horrific already, the case on its own. But the fact that so many women are paying attention to all of this, knowing these facts, we can't shut our eyes to this. They're listening to more of this trial than we are. They're listening to all these recitations, all these repetitions of the crime over and over and over and over again, and they still.
Well,
think that he did it.
Now, let me say this.
She's justified.
Okay. So have you ever had a conversation with a woman and she says, so what you're saying is, and just says some wild bullshit that she chose to hear?
Jordan Peterson, Kathy, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. That just wild bullshit that so what you're really saying is, and it's just some wild bullshit that you never said. Where I think what's happening here is they're just hearing what they want to hear and they're seeing what they want to see. Like they go into it with the conclusion that this woman they identify with must be innocent because remember, in their own minds, they're a good person. So a good person would never identify with a bad person. So if they identify with this woman, she must then therefore be a good person. So whatever must be true in order for that woman to be a good person is true. Whatever must be true is true. So that she can be a good person because the woman, a good person, would never identify with somebody who did a bad thing. So either she didn't do it, or if she did do it, she had a good reason. Right. And they would never extend that kind of compassion to a man, obviously. Kind of goes without saying. But it's so odd.
Well, Selena brings up an interesting point. Remember, Candace Owens said that women don't strangle. Well,
right.
I
know a couple who do.
I wish that was as dumb as they've gotten, because I've also seen women guess these people's horoscopes.
Right.
So,
and be like,
spaghetti was in reverse retrograde and they don't kill people. Like Cancers don't do this. Like Capricorns do that. Like fuck off. And again, this is magic words. Witchcraft is where that falls into play. The fact that they can just say it and magically make it true and prove it because of the stars. Like, you guys are insane.
I think this is very hard for a lot of men to come to terms with, right? Like I've had a couple of people DM me and like this is the This is the dating pool, you know, and even the women who are not necessarily making TikTok, because there's like, you got to imagine it's a ripple effect, right? At the center are the women who are making TikTok videos. And then you move out, and then there's women who are making TikTok videos that are a little more reasonable. And then you move out, and there's the women who are just watching it, but they believe everything they're watching and they're reposting and sharing. And as you get further out, you get to like the regular women that we know, where they may not be posting anything, but they're watching a lot of the content and they're coming to conclusions that are kind of alarming. Like imagine like, I don't know, like an OJ Simpson scenario where the OJ Simpson story comes out, right? And everybody's like, and all men everywhere were like, well, man, I totally get where he was coming from. I mean, shit, man, I almost kill my wife at least 3 times a week. I mean, she's just the worst. God damn, sometimes she just and I just want to kill my wife and a waiter. I don't know. It's just how I feel sometimes. Not all the time, but I get where he was coming from. Imagine if that was the discourse. I think women would justifiably be horrified, you know, and they would say, hey, what the fuck, guys? That's what you really think? Damn. I understand. Like, they would be upset. But that is kind of the male experience right now. We're looking around, and at least on self-report, the women are telling us this is what we think. We all agree on that. And obviously, it is not true that they all agree on this. It seems like a lot of the women who are criticizing it the most, or women are the ones who are also criticizing it the most. I don't know that men are as invested in this. I mean, now that I've seen the reaction, I'm invested, but I don't really, again, the case itself is not that interesting.
It's open and shut. Yeah.
So
I got an interesting one, actually.
Yeah.
What do you think would have happened if Patrick was there?
Probably would have been accessory to murder if he didn't stop it.
No, I mean, like, do you think
he would have stopped it?
Yeah, do you think he would have stopped it, or
He'd probably be on trial for putting hands on her to stop it.
Yeah, good point.
Even if he had evidence that she had, let's say that she had gotten, you know, somewhat of a way through the first one. So there would be exercise band marks around the first child's neck to prove that she had begun an assault on the kids. He walked in because he forgot something at home, came home unexpectedly, you know, threw a bitch through some drywall, you know, put hands like, give her a good fucking shaking, and then called the cops to say, hey, my wife attempted to hurt one of my children. I had to intervene. Get over here. I think we need to put her somewhere safe. He would have been arrested too. And we probably would have had the exact same circus we have now, even though women know that, okay, she did something. She started attacking one of her children. Doesn't give him an excuse to put his hands on her. That would have been 1. He didn't understand what she was going through. That would have been 2. It would have been the whole thing. She would probably be on The View right now talking about her experience and what she lived through. And she'd still be this feminist folk hero while he would still be the monster that they're trying to make him out to be right now. That's my theory.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
you're far
sure
off
there's
the mark.
But I guess I'm a pessimist.
Well, no, you're a realist, because it doesn't take much for us to draw these conclusions. I mean, all we have to do is pay attention to what these people are saying. And sometimes the best gift that people like this can give you is for them to open their fucking mouths. All they have to do is just say the shit that they're saying, and we remember. All we got to do is remember and be like, okay, well, I'm not going to associate with you anymore.
Well, the consensus right now with the Lindsay fans is the only person of value in this entire scenario is her. She is the only one that's important. The children, not important. They only contributed to her poor mental health. That's it. That's all the children did. They just made her feel things that she shouldn't have had to feel. The husband, he made her feel things too. She's the only one that's important, not the husband, not the children, no one else. Women are and her specifically, the only thing that matters is them and what they're feeling.
So this is an interesting lead into that. This woman, I think, is clearly making the situation about herself. But she has kind of a very telling monologue. Yeah, I think this is a very telling monologue. There's performative crying. See if you can spot it, fellas. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Narcos. And I believe in a God who brings redemption
Oh,
to
go
our
fuck
stories.
yourself.
And that is what I'm praying for with the Lindsay Clancy.
It's interesting how many of these women are international. That's interesting.
Lots
to
of
me. I don't know.
Australians, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Wait, what's the? Hang on. Let me look up. Let me look up. Sorry, go ahead. So I have a feeling. So she's
Story.
looking up to the right. I wonder
Yeah.
if she's inventing things in her head to make her cry. I don't think
Or
she's
maybe
remembering anything.
or maybe.
Oh, what's
that? Her story is not in vain. Here's one thing that I'll say with my full chest. If you have never experienced cycles of abuse, psychological abuse, you've never witnessed somebody else that you love watch them deteriorate from psychological abuse or watch them be murdered because of it, you simply will not understand the perspective that so many of us women are coming from when it comes to watching this trial and seeing that things don't add up, seeing that this woman was failed by the healthcare system as she cried out for help.
Yeah, but she got a bunch of help though. That's what's tripping me out. Is they're acting like she didn't have anybody helping her. She arguably got too much help. Arguably.
Yeah, they weren't on welfare living in a fucking trailer where she had no access to anything. She had a very privileged life.
Yeah, but I don't know what the hell is that? Patrick Clancy.
Maybe she had too much mental health. You ever think about that? Maybe
that's the thing. Actually, her taking all those different psych meds, like anybody who has experience with psych meds, if you just take a little perusal through what she was taking. Now, admittedly, she didn't take all of them. There are probably some left. But if you look, it's like mixing a bunch of different psych meds is a terrible fucking idea. And it's going to be really bad for your quote unquote mental health or your sense of well-being or your thoughts or your emotional regulate, whatever you want to call it, right? It's going to be bad for all of that if you take a bunch of psych meds.
To give some credit to my wife, she did bring that up as a potential argument. I'm
right.
Like,
I think that's
Point
and that's actually real life. Like if we want to have a real conversation here, then let's talk about the fact that this lady was pumped full of all these different really heavy duty psych meds. We're not talking about Prozac. It was a combination of antidepressants, SSRIs, mood stabilizers, and also anti-anxiety meds, including benzodiazepine, known to be in habit forming, known to be a real motherfucker. One name I saw was Seroquel, which is a real motherfucker. It can really put you out. So yeah, I mean, all these different medications kicking around in there almost certainly made her condition worse and not better. You could say, oh, well, it's her fault for going to a bunch of different doctors. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but like, what do we tell people to do in this culture when you're feeling bad? We tell them, we tell you go to therapy, go to a psychiatrist, get some pills, whatever. So she did the solution. And remember, the husband was like, okay, we got meditation room, we got a nanny, we got the in-laws coming over to help take care of the kids. Like what would you have had him do?
Work from home.
He switched to work from home. What would you have had him do that he didn't do?
He's valuable enough to work from home in the age of AI. Like, so he's no slouch.
That's right. He was earning a good income too, to the extent that is, I mean, that doesn't hurt, right? I mean, hell, imagine any of us, if we had a little bit more money, wouldn't that make life easier? I mean, good Lord.
Find a few uses.
So, I just asked Grok, what's the statistic on men age 18 to 35 on psychiatric meds versus women in the U.S.? Women age roughly 18 to 35, 39, 44 in the U.S. are substantially more likely than men in the same age range to take psychiatric/mental health medications, especially antidepressants and anti-iloxics. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not that smart.
I've never heard of that word.
1.5 to 2 times higher overall in this age group is the high teens, around 20% in recent data.
So a fifth of all women that you encounter in that age range are probably on some kind of meds.
On this shit.
Now, why would they be so depressed? They have everything they could ever want. They make up most of college graduates. They make up most of jobs now. They make up most of like managerial positions. They have everything that they've ever wanted, and yet they're still depressed. And yet they're still miserable. And yet they are praised to hell and back. They occupy all sorts of positions and all across society, and they're praised for it. Why would they be so depressed? I think we all know, because they don't like it. They don't like being in charge. They don't like taking the man's role, and they cannot admit it either, and they know they can't. That's the worst part.
They're actually having a
There
bad
are so
time.
many similarities in this Lindsay
What's
Clancy.
crazy is like I think this woman probably gets more of a thrill from the attention she gets on TikTok than she does from any other aspect of her life.
Story that I have witnessed and experienced with my best friend Tara, who was murdered.
Right. So now she made it about herself by making it about her best friend Tara, who was murdered, who she's now grifting off of to get likes and sympathy on TikTok. So she's just changing the subject to be about her best friend's murder. Bear in mind, the difference is in her story, she's sympathizing with the victim of a murder. And in Lindsay Clancy's story, she's now sympathizing with the perpetrator of a murder. Small difference.
Not to mention,
Small
she probably,
distinction.
If you've not walked
probably
the
didn't like her best
shoes
friend either.
of being abused, you will not understand where so many of us women are coming from.
What about the men?
Can I just pause real quick?
What about the men who
Any
who were
evidence that
abused?
she was abused by her husband whatsoever? Are there are there hospital records?
Well,
are there
he
notes
has
in her therapy?
I'm glad you asked.
Or
He
was
has
it just a
bad
little
vibes.
distance?
He has
Oh,
bad
that's
vibes
right.
and he's ugly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
His horoscope was wrong that day. You know?
Yeah, that's true. He does also have the wrong horoscope. They pointed that out. So we appreciate. There was a forensic astrologer. What was it? The forensic astrologer. Do we have that? Do we have the? Hold on. Do we have that?
No.
Was it a forensic medium? What it was something like that. Or a forensic tarot card reader? There was something like that was kicking
I've heard
around on
legend.
TikTok.
I've heard legend.
Here's the thing. I don't want to. Here's the thing, because it sounds like I'm doing a bit, and so that's why I don't want to say it wrong. I want to actually find it, because I'm not doing a bit. This is a real thing that happened, and so let's pull this up. Strider sent the video. Also, Selena sent a video that's going to surprise everybody that I want to share. Let's do this. This Strider just sent this. This is from the trial.
Yeah, so a little bit of pretext here. So we all of this is kind of relegated to just the internet. All of it is just TikTok brain bullshit.
Yeah.
But the fact that this bullshit has made it into the trial itself, made it into the witness stand.
All
now,
right,
this woman, so this is why I find this just so abhorrent.
Let's see what we
fought
got.
for days to get this woman accepted as a witness for the trial, just for her to ruin all credibility in the first 5 seconds.
Tell us your name, spell your last name for the record, please.
Emily Thorndike, Thorndike.
And what town do you live in?
I actually live in Brooklyn, New York, but I summer on Cape Cod. I'm spoiled like that, so I'm in Chatham.
So where do you live now?
Brooklyn. Not only making this statement as soon as she took this stand, she also really did not like the fact that the mic was not pointed directly at her.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Pretty ready. Thank you, Judge. Tell us your name, spell your last name for the record, please.
Emily Thorndike, Thorndike.
And what town do you live in?
I actually live in Brooklyn, New York, but I summer on Cape Cod. I'm spoiled like that, so I'm in Chatham.
So where do you live now?
Brooklyn.
But where you live? Are you
In Chatham.
Chatham?
Yes.
And what do you do for work?
I own my own therapy practice right now, so I'm practicing as a business owner and a therapist.
And what is the name of the business?
It's called Wise Mind Therapy Practice.
What is it?
Wise Mind.
Wise Mind?
Yeah.
TikTok therapist.
And where is that located?
It's a virtual practice, so.
TikTok therapist.
And how long have you been doing that?
So I had my own private practice I opened that January 2023, and then this past May I expanded. I hired somebody, so technically it's a group practice, but I've owned my own business technically for 4 years. Lindsay Clancy's attorney fought for days
So-
to get this woman accepted.
Not only because she asked to be a witness for this, because apparently she was a little bit of background for her. So she was supposedly worked at the same hospital that Lindsay Clancy was admitted to, and she was trying to make the case that the conditions at the hospital were terrible and trying to make her case for her. The problem is she didn't work there during that time. That's why the judge threw her testimony out. Because she was doing this attention-seeking performative comedian bullshit, but she also didn't even work there at the time. So she cannot testify. She cannot even testify to the timeline. And the defense knew this, and they fought so hard to get her on. And the judge is like, "Fuck this! This is ridiculous." But the fact that this made its way into the courtroom, the fact that she's standing on the corpses of 3 kids.
By the way,
well, she's spoiled like that, Strider.
yeah. Well, and listen, Here's the thing, guys. This is my favorite turn of events. This is a breaking news update. This video was sent to me by Selena, friend of the channel. She sent me a video of her agreeing with Nick Fuentes. So I can't wait to see about this. I think, Selena, we can interpret this as an endorsement of everything Nick Fuentes has ever said. That is what we're
From
doing.
now until the end of time, of course.
Selena is a proud Groipette and supports everything
waiting
Nick
to hear a
Fuentes
glass break
ever
in the other
said,
room.
and everything Nick Fuentes will ever say is
If I
endorsed
have
by
to go
Selena
buy a new TV because of you,
because of this. Let's go ahead and play it.
Well, Westonia sent $20. Respect, but you can't speak on this until you birth a child and experience postpartum. Her husband is not innocent either. You summarize a pretty wrapped present, but the bow on top isn't tied up, bro.
Okay, idiot bitch. That's so typical. Well, you can't speak on this until you. No, actually, I can. Actually, I can, idiot bitch. I 100% can.
One bump's mom said.
Fucking idiot bitch. This is why the country's going out of control, because we let uppity women say, well, you don't have a female body, so no, you have no right to speak on it because you don't have a vagina. It's like, yeah, actually I can because I'm a man. And I was created in God's image and I have discernment and reason. So actually I can, you fucking idiot bitch. You can't speak about this until you have a child. Really? I can't have an opinion on murdering children until I have a child out of my vagina? Idiot bitch. Your husband needs to kick your ass. Your husband needs to kick your ass is what needs to happen.
Worse
He
than
needs
that?
to pull your hair and fucking throw you down the stairs. Not actually, I'm kidding. But yeah, what the fuck is the matter with you?
Worse than that, Theo, I don't think that was a woman who super chatted. I think it was a man.
think so either.
No,
I think it was a man just by use of bro at the end. Women don't talk like that. That was
Generally
a
not.
feminized
Oh, yeah, they do
man
now.
who said that. That was a white knight man who said that. I guarantee it.
Good
That's it.
lord.
no,
Yeah.
come on, Strider. You've seen all these chicks that try to act all macho, do that. What
Yeah.
up, bro? Bro, like fucking
yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
attacking the visually and hearing impaired reporter using his smartphone for the notes. Be in the moment, bro. Ask me questions. It's like,
didn't
I'm
see that.
reading from my notes.
Selena, I too am surprised I sent you that at Theo. We all know how much I dislike the fucker. She is right. So Selena, huge fan. She's saying no, but she means yes. She is a huge,
The newest subscriber.
huge Nick Fuentes fan, paid subscriber. She paid to be a part of his
The jig's up,
WhatsApp
Selena.
chat.
We all know
That's what I heard. She's
where
in the
it really
Discord
stands.
now. She's a Discord mod. Full groiper. Anyway, but yeah, it's weird. But at this particular moment, Nick Fuentes is on this issue representing the voice of reason. What's also interesting, this is kind of a co-occurring phenomenon. Stop me if you've seen these before. But this is
I
a
know what you're bringing
co-occurring
up.
phenomenon right here. These videos of women expressing their rage. And I don't know if this is because of Lindsay Clancy or what, but these started kind of circulating the same time where this woman slams the bathroom door. She set up her camera to do this. And then she's throwing ice cubes and screaming. And actually, I don't think there's any copyrighted music. And just grunting like a female tennis player.
Living through love, huh?
Yeah. And there's another one here. So this is kind of the same idea. This one might have copyrighted music, so we're gonna go ahead and mute that. And so she set up her phone to film her breakdown.
I have a question I want to ask. Is
Okay.
this what it looks like to be emotionally intelligent?
Yes, this is what emotional intelligence looks like, guys.
These are the people we should have leading our country, as so we're
Yes.
told.
Yeah.
Things that
President.
send me into
This is the biggest voting demographic, by the way.
yes, and things that send me into postpartum depression and rage 2 years after birth. By the way, 2 years after birth. 2 years after birth is no longer the postpartum window. I was talking to my mom about this, and she was telling me, because she's had a child, me, and she said, postpartum depression is definitely a real thing. Blah blah blah. Your hormones are just absolutely crazy, and you don't know what to do, and it's a mess. And I was like, yeah, the youngest child was 8 months old, and she's like, 8 months? Nah, into the wood chipper. In 8 months, you're not postpartum anymore. Into the wood chipper. So 2 years is crazy.
You should feel guilty, you piece of shit.
Yeah, so you're
You
just
mean to a baby?
She was fired for having a baby. That's not legal, but I mean, not good. Repeated questions, clinginess, not having a minute alone, which is definitely a real thing. Like, that's definitely a real thing parents experience.
But that's parenthood.
Yeah, like
it does suck for real.
Mom. So she has everything she could ever want, as she's the most privileged. Oh my god.
Right. And they do take a lot of attention for sure.
They do.
No, definitely. It is, again, no one's, I guess what we're saying is like, I don't know that anybody is disputing that parenthood is hard, but you're not allowed to like murder your children about it, I guess is what we're saying. And if you do murder your children about it, then the natural response to that is going to be to put you in jail for the foreseeable future. And that's just going to be that. I'm sorry. And a lot of people think you should go into the wood chipper. I mean, it seems like women are having a problem with that. And there is a non-trivial amount of otherwise morally ordinary women who want to go to bat for this woman. And, there's also some that are just like true crime junkies that are just interested because it's a court case that's in the news right now. So I don't think every single one is like, morally alarming. Like, I actually think it's a perfectly valid point that, hey, maybe this lady was on too many damn psych meds. Of course, we're not going to have that conversation because of how many women are on psych meds. The other thing too, psych meds and hormonal birth control, messing with your hormones is going to make you, it's going to change you. It's going to make you crazy. Like, I don't know, like 100% of the fucking science on that, whatever, but it's just a fact that if you fuck with your hormones, it changes you in a significant way. Like, that's just how it is.
Well, yeah, no, actually, Pearl Davis.
Not happening. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ignore that either. Good.
So there's a financial interest in, well, the other thing too about hormonal birth control is you take it every month. So you have to keep buying it. And with psych meds, you have to keep taking them your whole life, basically. So, you have to keep buying them. It's something you have to keep buying. Right. So if they can convince you, if they can convince you that you need these things, right, then you become essentially a lifetime, or maybe for like, in the case of birth control, it's not your whole life, but like for a significant period of your life, you become a recurring customer of the pharmaceutical industry. Like, that's part of it. So
also think about why that is, because why would you be taking birth control as a teenager? Well, because they expect you to be sexually active. Why do they expect you to be sexually active? How about just not do it? How about just not be sexually active, and then you will have birth control? So the same thing I'm sorry. I mean, if you're not, and that's one thing that women are not taught. Well, people in general, men are taught this, but the thing women are not taught. They're taught to, go sow your wild oats, go nuts, go sleep with every man. And this isn't coming from men, it's coming from fellow women like Alex Cooper. They're telling women to go sow their wild oats, go sleep with everything that moves, and you just take birth control and it'll be fine. Well, Pearl Davis mentioned that there was and still is a huge epidemic of women who will take hormone or birth control up until they get married and then get off of it because they're trying to have kids. Well, all of a sudden, your entire hormonal cocktail is completely changed, or your mindset, your emotional state is completely different. All of a sudden, they fall out of love with their husbands and they divorce them because they're not attracted to them anymore, because they're not on hormonal birth control anymore. And there's a lot of cases of that, unfortunately. But this is just a cocktail of not teaching women accountability, not teaching women. Here's the thing: you don't need to be on hormonal birth control if you're not having sex. Don't do that, and you won't need this. But again, pharmaceutical companies, like you said, Theo, are very much motivated to not let that message get through, because they make their weekly bonuses off of repeat customers.
Yeah, it's always a lot easier to retain an existing customer than it is to attract a new one. That's for sure. And if you can and you can make it normal. Like, the more you can normalize, and I think part of this is like the normalization of therapy culture, because the more people are normalized into therapy culture, the more people will eventually end up on medication. Like, that's kind of just the deal. Like, the more people are are normalized into thinking that like, oh, going to therapy is the thing to do, or engaging with the, I guess, the medical psychiatry, psychology system is the way to handle it in the event that something is going wrong in my life, then more of those people are going to end up on medication.
But that's why this case specifically contradicts that same thing, because she was doing all of those things. She was she was already indoctrinated into therapy culture, meditation room therapy, all the shit that she was on. But at the same time, the system and healthcare system failed her. You can't have it both fucking ways.
Yeah.
So either we need more of the same thing that led to this. What are we talking about? And real quick, Strider, Casey Anthony never got that support. Oh, yes, she did. It just wasn't as unpopular of an opinion. Yes, it wasn't a popular opinion back then. Oh, my God. When she accused her father of being the one that did it, women were out there. Yeah, they were. There weren't as many because it was frowned upon. We still had a little bit of a moral compass at that time culturally. Now we don't. But at that time, yes, there was a pretty substantial amount of men and women going to bat for her. The men went to bat for her because they thought she was fucking hot and there were simps for her. And then the women, it was the same thing. She had the baby too young. Maybe if we had more healthcare options, if the kid had been aborted, this wouldn't have happened. Maybe the dad, then the whole whodunit thing came into play. Well, she accused the dad of being a this and that, and she eventually recanted on that, but no, I mean, yeah, she became a big celebrity back then, but there was definitely more hate than support. But at the same time, she got away with it.
Yeah, that's true.
So we know how that trial ended.
So something interesting I've been wondering about, maybe you can shed some light on. You mentioned this preponderance of therapy culture.
Yeah.
Do you think that's also like a female fad that women are just jumping on because everyone around them is also in therapy?
Good question. So that's definitely part of it.
But I think it might be a fad too. I don't know.
I think a function of it, what I think it's doing is it's filling a hole that religion is supposed to fill, but it's doing it in like a perverse way. So that is okay. So therapy reminds me a lot of the sacrament of confession, where you go into a private room but instead of sharing what you've done wrong, you share your innermost thoughts. And a lot of times that person in there just validates you and tells you you're right about everything, and like tells you the main character, which is the opposite of what a good confession would do, which would be to explain what you did wrong and what you could do better next time. And therapists have kind of taken on this role as sacred priest figures. They've been elevated as kind of sacred figures. But to answer your question, I do think there's an element of it that's just jumping on the train. And women will actively encourage other women to get into therapy. We've seen it happen, even young ones. We've seen it happen where one of them gets into therapy and then says how great it is, and then says, okay, well, I want to go to therapy too. And then they're all speaking together in therapy speak, or they're trying to therapize each other. It is weird. We have this.
I've seen this in real time, dude.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Especially if one of the queen bees, one of the popular girls, oh, I'm in therapy and I'm on this, and this. And then they try to one up each other, man. I've seen girls had no sign of any depression or psychological issues suddenly on fucking hardcore psych meds because they're trying to one up each other. Well, I'm on even more. No, I'm on more. I've seen it fucking happen. And this was decades ago.
This is
worse now.
Maybe even more common now. Yeah. Well, let's see. Dr. Awesome is here. What do you think the overlap is between the Idaho murder voyeurs and the TikTok crowd for the Lindsay Clancy situation? Yeah, I think that overlap is a circle. I think it's exactly what's going on. There is go ahead, Rogue Nerd.
I'm not familiar with that.
Probably just a cylinder.
Yeah, well, so there was Brian Koberger or whatever who basically murdered some sorority girls in Idaho, right? And that became like very popular.
Okay, yeah,
that became very popular on true crime TikTok. I think that's exactly what's going on here. There's a segment of women who consume true crime content for entertainment. And that's a segment of what's so not every woman who's obsessed with this case is obsessed with it because they like because hating men is like a primary motivator or like patriarchal resentment or identifying with Lindsay Clancy. A lot of them just they engage in true crime for fun. And part of true crime is what if you got the wrong guy and there was an elaborate conspiracy and you get to be like a detective and overcome and discover the elaborate conspiracy, and that a lot of women participate in that for enjoyment purposes, even though a lot of times the elaborate conspiracy doesn't exist. It's just like something they're fabricating because they're like fiction brained, but they want it to be true. And that's like a fun aspect. So obsessively consuming details about murder cases is like interesting to this segment of the internet. And I think this is the next thing that they've jumped on, but it's had this very weird, clearly gendered, like political dimension where, although it's like even women who are ostensibly like right wing are wading into this on the side of her. So that's what makes me think it might be this, Strider's hypothesis that it is some kind of like hive mind thing. First and foremost, it's like, that might be right. That might be right that it's like, it's certainly a big part of it is that it's a hive mind thing. And a lot of women, I think, feel hard done by because they have more responsibility for young children than their husbands do. There's definitely a lot of women who feel hard done by because of that. And I don't know. That's to some extent legitimate. I think it's like also, there's a lot of ways in which men are hard done by and we don't fucking murder our children about it. That's, I guess, my issue.
The ones that do get the book thrown at them, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like that years ago, the guy who found a younger piece at work and decided, I'm just going to throw my wife and kids in a oil refinery station out in the desert and totally get away with it. No, he didn't. And he should be fucking publicly executed, in my opinion.
Sure.
Get a rope.
Yeah.
Get a rope.
Absolutely. All right, folks.
But men's groups didn't come out. Well, the wife put on some weight and she was a little. It's like those were kind of annoying. He never got a piece.
Well, you know what? We will joke about that. Like that was funny, obviously, but we will joke about that. We will never be serious about it. Like that will be a joke, but we'll all be like, okay, yeah, but that's fucked up, obviously, and that's crazy to me. The fact, well, I guess it's not too crazy because men in general are much more deeply connected to reality itself, unfortunately. And this is just peak women disconnection from consequences and from how the real world works. You would never find the same compassion or men making the same case because we're like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. I don't care what kind of mental breakdown, what cocktail of meds you're on. Don't kill your kids if you're a man. We will not see women do that because women do not associate with reality the same way men do. They are very much protected from consequences. They're very much protected from just from negativity overall. I mean, men, we are thrown into the world. We play act violence to practice violence later on because we have to be protectors. We have to know immediately that that your actions have consequences. If I mouth off to somebody who's I shouldn't be mouthing off to, I'm liable to get popped in the jaw. It hurts, but I learned a lesson. Women don't do that. Women don't do that.
Nature is one of the few areas where women are not protected from reality at all. Like nature is just going to be nature, and there's no way. I mean, I guess hormonal birth control is sort of an intervention to protect them from nature. I guess even in the domain of nature with abortion and with hormonal birth control, you still have some layer of protection between women and the reality of their actions, the real consequences of their actions. It's weird. It's like, I don't know. It is like this is a very strange moment in time, folks. Very strange moment in time. Well, I tell you what, we've been cooking for about 2 hours. Let's go ahead and get out of here. I got other stuff I want to do today. I know you guys do. Let's go around the horn. Iron, where can we find you?
If I can pull up a crew together by 4:30, we'll go ahead and have a impromptu rogues gallery today on normal schedule before we switch things up here in a couple weeks. I'll announce that probably within the next half hour if that's going to happen. Other than that, it's great seeing you back, man. So I hope to be here more often. Going to be getting the show schedule back on track in the coming weeks. So just follow me on X and I'll keep everybody updated.
All right, great. And Strider, what do you have going on these days?
Yeah, just well, hanging out at Touch Grass. Definitely glad to be back. Glad to have you back. I've missed a lot of these discussions. They've been a lot of fun. It's sad as they can be sometimes. It helps to vent sometimes. But
yes,
yeah, you also find me on Rogues Gallery as well.
All right, sounds good. Roguish Nerd, where are we finding you these days? Anything you want to shout out?
Shoot, just recently I'm kind of just delving more into meat space and kind of getting offline. But yeah, I'm found out that I'm really interested in making coffee. So
excellent. Very exciting.
Some things are in the works, and it's going to be great.
Oh, excellent. We have a product announcement coming soon. Very exciting. I'll be promoting that on the show, of course. We'll have a launch party. It'll be fun. All right. My name is Theo Snodgrass. I am your host, comedian, podcaster out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you very much for joining us today. Now, please enjoy the intro to my other show, Theocracy, as the outro to this show. Thank you very much.
All right. Adios.